A U.S. Special Forces soldier helps plan the mission to capture Nicolas Maduro. Then he allegedly turns around and bets on it. Gannon Ken Van Dyke is charged with misusing classified intel, stealing non-public information, wire fraud, commodities fraud. Van Dyke put down about $33,000 and walked away with over $400,000. He could be looking at decades in prison if convicted. And yet on Capitol Hill, we see people making huge profits on stock trades that have access to knowledge that is not on the public market about regulatory matters, legislative matters. And you have to ask yourself, is this a kind of a similar play, but different players? Why do the rules change depending on who you are? We're now in a world where people are betting on wars, on elections, even on military operations. And the law, well, it's still playing catch up.
The whole world, unfortunately, has become somewhat of a casino. And you look at what's going on all over the world, in Europe and every place they're doing these betting things. I was never much in favor of it. I don't like it conceptually, but it is what it is. No, I think that...
Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, it's great to see you, Congresswoman. You, I think, came out in a post on social saying that this special force,
and because he placed a bet, he, in reading the write-up by the Department of Justice, Laura, I did not see that he leaked classified information, so that's pretty big on this. And I don't agree with what he did. However, I don't think that this is true justice. And I say that because, as you had stated, this man is facing decades in prison. Meanwhile, every single day on Capitol Hill, there are many members of Congress on both sides that are currently engaging in insider trading. And I actually did, Laura, decide to help champion this cause and try to get a bipartisan bill across the finish line that Hakeem Jeffries then turned around and blocked. So I do think that Congress as a whole, we have insider trading happening every single day. We have to have legislation to stop it. It's not right. It's working against the interests of the American people, and it is corruption. But again, this individual, is it fair for him to be facing decades, or
no.
While Nancy Pelosi walks free, it's not?
No, I absolutely agree with you. So as you mentioned, Pelosi, she
do anything wrong. If they are prosecuted and they go to jail. But because of the confidence it instills in the American people, don't worry about this.
Even Jake Tapper didn't look like he was buying what she was saying there. That was last summer, Congresswoman. So she's made a lot of money. Her husband obviously is in business, and everyone likes Paul. He's a great guy. But there are a lot of people who make a lot of money.
Most certainly. If you look at the numbers on average, Laura, members of Congress that go from, making 175, having never traded a stock in their life before, will on average make about 600% returns. And we are given access to information specifically on markets. We know when deals come through, and they are placing bets. You can follow a number of websites like Unusual Whales that will actually track members of Congress and their stock portfolio trades. Now, I do want to point out something. If a member of Congress gets caught trading stock, on average, the fine is maybe $200 if they're insider trading. And that's it. It's a slap on the wrist. Meanwhile, you again see in this case of this Special Forces member facing decades in prison. And so we are trying to reform it. But, what's happening in Congress, if we don't reform this now, it's never going to happen. Oh. And again, Hakeem Jeffries tried to block that bipartisan effort.
Well, Congressman, we just did an angle on how...
April 25th, 2026, Fox News is focusing heavily on diplomatic negotiations regarding the Iran-Israel conflict, alongside domestic crime updates and sports news from the NFL draft. Top headlines today: international and politics, Iran peace talks. Fox is reporting that Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are traveling to Pakistan to meet with Iranian officials. However, Iran has publicly stated they do not plan to hold direct negotiations with the U.S. delegation. Nuclear guardrails. Coverage includes discussions on the NPT review conference, with reports highlighting that key nuclear treaties are expiring or under threat. FEMA investigation. A Democrat is facing accusations of stealing April 25th, 2026, Fox News is focusing heavily on diplomatic negotiations regarding the Iran-Israel conflict, alongside domestic crime updates and sports news from the NFL draft. Top headlines today: international and politics, Iran peace talks. Fox is reporting that Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are traveling to Pakistan to meet with Iranian officials. However, Iran has publicly stated they do not plan to hold direct negotiations with the U.S. delegation. Nuclear guardrails. Coverage includes discussions on the NPT review conference, with reports highlighting that key nuclear treaties are expiring or under threat. FEMA investigation. A Democrat is facing accusations of stealing $5 million in FEMA funds while quietly registering for another term. National and crime news. Pentagon bus crash. A crash near the Pentagon has injured 23 people, including 10 defense personnel. Cold case